Hi friends, today we are going to discuss another pattern taken from Microsoft Architecture Patterns website. This pattern is external configuration store pattern. This is a very simple pattern. So for example, you have an application running which is doing some work. This is your application, and for doing some work there has to be some configurations. So one of the practices of having a clean code is to not hard code the values that are driving the behavior of your application, rather than save it in some configuration, so that if you want to change behavior of your application on multiple parameters or on some parameters, so what you can do is, rather than going through the code and changing all the values, changing values one by one, what you can do is you have all the configuration in a single place in your code, where you can change those configurations so that it takes effect in all of your application. So for example, you have an application and it takes some constants. Let's suppose this configuration is the tax rate. One thing you can do is you can basically sprinkle the tax rate across your application, so that in most of the files wherever you want to use the tax rate, you are going to hard code its value. For example, let's say if tax rate is 14%, so you can hard code its value 14% into 100, and whatever calculation or work you want to do on the tax rate. So when you have hard coded, it is difficult to change this piece of code. So it is actually not a piece of code, it is actually a configuration which you can change depending on the circumstances. So if due to some government change, what happens, tax rate changes, it becomes 29%, let's suppose. So how are you going to handle the code where you have sprinkled the tax rate throughout your application? So you have to go to each file one by one, and there you have to change the values. If you have the tax rate or any other configuration which is not a part of code, but it is actually a configuration, you can save that in a configuration file in your code, and whenever you want to change that value according to your business needs, you can change that value in the configuration. So all the changes in the configuration go at a single place, they're not sprinkled throughout your application. But one step ahead from this pattern is external configuration pattern. Just now we have discussed configuration pattern. It is not actually, it is a pattern in which you are having configurations removed from the code and saved into a separate file inside the code. But in external configuration store pattern, what we do is we move one step further. Instead of having this configuration in the code, what we do is we use an external configuration store. We use an external configuration store and we move these configuration to this place. And whenever we want to access the configuration, we are going to use this external config store to access those configuration. So what happens is, now your application is going to be like this. For accessing the configuration, it is going to access external configuration store. It is basically a configuration store which can be storing its data in some database. We are going to come to this just in a moment. So your app is connecting to external configuration store, and from there it is accessing the configuration. This way you are going to make your life much easier. So for example, if you are deploying your code, you have server 1, app app server 1 and app server 2, and both of these applications or servers are going to access the configurations from a single place. That way, the chances of having different configurations during deployment or during application journey are going to be less. So for example, if you had configuration files on each of these servers S1 and S2, so during deployment, if you had sent any change in the configuration, what is going to happen is one server is going to have one piece of configuration and another server will have another piece of configuration. So there is a mismatch during deployment time. While in case of external configuration store, you will only have single configuration throughout your journey. That way, it is going to keep your configurations consistent across the service, across the instances. What more is, you can use this configuration store to share configuration across the services as well. For example, if you have an email service and if you have an SMS service, which want to connect, which want to share a same piece of configuration, so they both can access the same piece of configuration from external configuration store, and these services are going to have their own instances. Services are logical uh, combination of instances, and they are going to have their separate instances. It is a basically logical accumulation or combination of services. So they are going to use same configuration. So from this advantage comes another disadvantage. So if for email service you have to make any change in configuration which is shared by multiple teams, then the change is going to get trickier. Either you will have to copy this configuration. So if, for example, red is the piece of configuration that is used by both the teams, and now you want to change this red to yellow. Yellow is basically, I'm just giving an example. So for an example, you want to change this to yellow. If you change this to yellow, what is going to happen is it is going to reflect in SMS service as well, which may or may not have been intended. So this is a disadvantage in having common configuration across services. So, but there are advantages as well. It helps keep uniformity of configuration across the services. Let's see what are the examples of configuration that you can save this way. It can be database connection string. You can save this database connection string in the configuration store. And if for some reason you have to change this configuration, this database connection string, all you have to do is update that in the external configuration store, and it is going to get reflected in all of the applications. Another example is maybe theme that you want to use. You can store that in external configuration store and it can be reflected across all the applications. But with this advantage comes a disadvantage as well. Since you are storing the configuration in a single place, any failure in the external configuration store is going to impact all these services because they are now dependent on configurations on external configuration store for storing their configuration, and if it goes down, it is going to have impact here. One more thing, with external configuration store, what happens is since so many of the applications become dependent on the external configuration store, any configuration that you are changing in the external configuration store can impact multiple applications. So each change has to be vetted, each configuration change has to be tested on staging and the beta environments before it is made live. And this configuration changes should also be handled like deployments so that there is versioning of the changes that are happening. So one of the requirements for external configuration store is to have versioning as well, versioning of configurations. So if you are storing any configuration, it will be saved as v1. When you are updating the configuration, it is going to just make a new configuration v2, and when you are fetching the configuration, it is now going to fetch v2. So your basic requirement for external configuration store is to have versioning. It is going to be, it needs to be secure, so that anyone cannot access these configuration store to steal credentials if you are storing these credentials. And it needs to be secure also from accidental changes. So there needs to be permission based system based access. There needs to be permission based access. It needs to be secure. You can encrypt your data while storing it in configuration store. It needs to be highly available. So you must need a highly available architecture for external configuration store. So even if it is running only on a single instance, so if this instance crashes, it is going to impact all the applications that are running using external configuration store. So you need to have replicas for it, and all the replicas should be in sync, so that uh, changes in the external configuration store, there are no inconsistencies in the external configuration store. There can be eventual consistencies. For example, if this is the main replica, if this is the main server, and these are the slaves or read-only servers, then there is going to be eventual consistency among them. You have to make sure that this eventual consistency is not affecting your application logic. Another thing that you have to ensure is, since it is an external this is a configuration store, and you will need to update these configuration. So it needs to have some UI through which you can basically access the non confidential configurations. So your configuration store, these are the qualities that we need in an ideal configuration store. So it needs to have a UI. It needs to have permission based UI. It needs to ensure that whatever data we are entering in the UI is verified and validated. Now, these are some of the very trivial things that we don't consider when we are thinking of an external configuration or configuration store perspective. But these are the requirements that you may need in later stages of your project. So it is good to have these features in mind when you are evaluating the configuration store. So another requirement is, it needs to output the data or configuration in correct type and format. It needs to output the data that is stored in the configuration in the correct type and format. You need to have key level. You need to have different level of permissions for accessing different objects. So for example, if service 1 and service 2 both are saving its configuration, and they have independent set of configurations. So what you have to ensure is, service 2 is not able to access configuration for service 1, and similarly service 1 is not able to access configuration for service 2. So you need to ensure that they are only able to access configuration for their own services. Since it is a configuration, and the configurations are extensively used by the application, you have to ensure that the latency or the time taken to get these configuration is very less. It should be in milliseconds, so that it is not adding to your services latency. Okay, so it needs to have a very good performance. So what generally happens is, a configuration store is generally a front end which manages the requirements for the configuration store, but the data is actually stored in some database. It is actually stored in some database. So the connection between this database and external configuration store is generally encrypted to prevent any leak of your data. What also is, this database generally are slower what you can do is you can have external configuration store which is caching your configurations. It can cache your configuration, so access from services for your configuration is very fast, and ECS can basically periodically read from the database and store the data. What you can also do is you can have encryption between these two, so that configuration store is storing encrypted data in database, so that even if someone has access to this database, may not be able to read the configurations which are actually stored in the database directly. That way you can ensure that proper permissions and proper access control have been followed when you're trying to access any piece of configuration or you're trying to change any piece of configuration. It also needs to handle cases where, for example, if database and service 1 is trying to access any piece of configuration, and this does not exist. So what you can do is you can have hierarchy of configurations, and if this configuration does not exist, you can give configuration just above that hierarchy. For example, uh, there can be organization level configuration, then there can be team level configurations, and then there can be service level configuration, and then there can be instance level or machine level configurations. These are basically instances that of service 1. This can be instance of service 2, and so on. Now you can get the idea that if instance level configurations are not present, you can pick the service level configurations, and if service level configurations are also not present, you can pick team level, and similarly for organization level. This way, this is only possible when they are common configurations, but if there are some service specific configuration, it won't make sense to pick team level configuration, or it won't make sense to keep team level configuration for service level attributes. So in summary, you need some fallback mechanisms when either the configuration have been corrupted. So for example, if instance level configuration of particular instance have been corrupted, what you can do is you can pick service level configuration for that instance. So in case of corruption or data not present, what you can do is you can pick hierarchy of configurations. Now let's try to see what are some of the disadvantages of this pattern. Since you are adding an extra component in your system design or in your system architecture, what it is going to add is it is also going to add a point of failure. There can be points of failure at any level. For example, database can be down. The database storing the configuration, can be down. External configuration store, which provides a front end and a common interface to configuration, can be down. There can be corruption of data in the external config store, and just like that, it is going to introduce an extra point of failure. Also, it is going to add some latency in your application, though you can handle that by caching, but still it is going to add some latency. It may need to pass the data that is present in the database. That can also add to the latency, but it can be mitigated using caching. You have to ensure that the different types of configuration that you want in your application are supported by the external config store. This decision has to be taken when you are selecting the config store and the database backend for that config store. So one thing that we have already discussed, but I'm going to reiterate because it's very important, is since external configuration store defines or alters the behavior of your application, alters in real time. So any change in this configuration store for app configurations of this service S1 is going to impact runtime behavior of this application. So any changes in the external configuration store should be handled with with high care. For example, the changes like it should be tested, it should be reviewed, all the changes that you are doing, should be reviewed, and if possible, you should basically commit it in your Git repository or someplace else, so that it can be properly reviewed, it can be properly tested, and it can be properly vetted before these changes are made live in the external configuration store. And you should also have ways to do a release candidate changes or RC changes in your configuration, so that your changes are first tested on less amount of traffic, and once those changes have been tested on less traffic, they can be rolled out to higher number of traffic. So one of the scenarios we see is you have an ECS, external configuration store, which is storing the configuration, and your application is accessing this configuration. Your application is not going to keep polling. Your application is not going to get the request for each, get the configuration for each request it receives or each work it does. It can basically cache this data in cache this data in its own memory. So there is a cache here in the external configuration store. There is a cache in application for configuration. So any changes that are done in ECS should be informed to the application, so that application is clears cache and there are no configuration mismatches between different instances of this application. Cache is always going to come up with edge cases in which cache is stale or cache becomes corrupt. So you have to handle these cases as well. So in summary, it's this configuration having a configuration stored in external configuration store, which is backed by some database, has its advantage. The use of having a different database rather than directly storing in the databases, you can have a layer of functionality. You can have an extra layer through which you can add functionalities like role-based access. For example, service 1 can access only objects for service 1, and service 2 can access objects for service 2 or configurations for service 2. You can implement these functionalities in database as well, like having a separate user and separate database, but this is going to increase your burden when you can have a single place configuration through which you can handle multiple functionalities like caching, permission based access, role based access, and caching. So this is the external configuration source pattern and store pattern, and obviously this is not suitable in which your application has very less number of configuration, or it is in the very early stages where the configurations are not changing very much. Then having that extra component is going to increase your development cost. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your views in comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you and have a nice day.